What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show.
What's good, peoples?
Let's see if anybody pops today because we're coming. This is kind of a
Yes, today's not Monday, folks. Today
unscheduled appearance here
is
by us due to recent activities,
recent events that are
recent events that just brought us out.
taking over the internet by storm. So
Let's see how this
we
goes.
was we was going to wait till Monday, but
Yeah,
everybody was like, "Nope, we need
yeah,
it now."
yeah. I
So
was I was getting called. Somebody else said, "Let's go talk about it now." And I was like, "Why? Just wait for Monday. Whatever happens, happens." But moment I called Blunt, I was like, "Blunt, you want it?" He's like, "Sure."
it's always good to do it like that. Sometimes
Right?
you got to do spot up. On the spontaneous. Damn, I couldn't get that shit out.
You got to call Rob and give you a new word.
Yeah,
Rob
got to call
Martinez
Raw.
made a new word for spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's get to this, man. I mean, there's like this is like a three-parter for me.
Oh, really?
It's like a three-parter from
What?
we're gonna start from where everything started to you know to the latest that we just heard or watched on Facebook. So it started, I think it was on Monday, right? There was a video posted by the train's VP, and
Was
in
it
this video,
this Monday that just passed, or are we talking?
wasn't it? Didn't it? Wasn't it on Monday? I believe I saw it on Monday
Okay, it was this week sometime.
this week sometime. Well,
Yeah, I
okay,
don't, I don't know. I don't know what day it was, but yeah, okay.
okay.
I don't know because you said you would start where it started. I thought you was gonna go with like 2014 or some
Oh no, no,
shit. What up,
we don't
Tom?
have enough time for that.
Yeah.
That's a 3 hour special. um, No, so there was this video posted, or the VP posted a video speaking on the NYPD, right?
Mhm,
And he posted several pictures of police officers, which are in what they call them. We call them crew rooms. They call them break rooms, right?
mhm,
Break rooms. The trains call it break rooms. Pictures of NYPD officers sleeping or
mhm,
napping. I don't know, whatever it was. And he starts by saying like this is all about our safety, right? For
mhm,
years we've been talking about wanting more safety for our bus operators, especially
mhm.
since if we could go back 2008 when bus operator Edwin
Got
was
killed.
killed,
Right.
right? From then on it's like really things started escalating for us about our safety of getting the dividers and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But we've always mentioned the fact that it would be nice to have cops on our buses
Right.
and
Since they
trains, of
took them
course.
away.
You're right. Just to be watching that. So I to certain points, I'm 100% with the VP that we need these cops out there. We need them on our buses and our trains
Mhm,
to make everybody feel more secure, to make the public want to come back to the trains to use public transportation and pay for it. Because a lot of people are complaining about there's no safety, this and this is happening, and what's going on, MTA? Like, you guys are not doing nothing for our safety. So we always talked about the cops. But he posted this video showing this cops sleeping or napping in their break rooms, and that shit blew up, right?
mhm.
Blew up to the point,
Not in a good way.
not in a good way.
Right.
It blew up in a bad way to the point that NYPD did not, they took big offense to that.
Mhm.
And what did they do? They said basically
They did
the
a blitz.
yeah, and the courtesies that us operator transit workers have been getting, pretty much to say that's it.
Mhm.
So they mentioned Stillwell Avenue Terminal. I think that the VP was from there, worked there. Not sure if I'm wrong, but I think he's from there. But basically, what they were gonna do was all the transit vehicles that are there with their vests on the dash, as to not get a ticket, would be getting tickets, right?
Mhm.
So this is their retaliation. This is their answer to the VP posting this police officer's pictures, and that's cost.
It's costing employees, MTA employees, money
Yeah,
out of their pocket.
right.
And I can't be positive, but I don't think it's just around Stillwell neither. I think it's citywide
Yeah,
that
it's
is
it's
happening.
it's everywhere. There's been pictures being sent that I've seen where that is
Mhm.
not from Stillwell,
Mhm.
where they have pictures of a tickets on people
Mhm.
that have their vest on there. And this one thing that Jamil had said, I mentioned his name. Um, it's hard to find parking
Mhm.
in that area, right? It's
Right.
it's hard to find parking. So they put their vest. And the truth is that if the MTA had anything to say about that, what are they going to say? That's why we give you passes,
Mhm.
right? They want us to use public
They
transportation.
yeah, they want you to use public transit to
Yeah,
get to work. So
right.
they like
But
you.
but
That's
but
on
some
you.
people work really far, live
Mhm.
far away, and they pick schedules that
Mhm.
having a vehicle there gets you there quicker on time. With whatever you pick.
Mhm.
So it works for many of us to be able to take our vehicle. But this is causing a lot of problems. Even on the road, I'll be seeing cops, and I'm like wondering if they're waiting at a corner just to see if
If you
anybody
mess up.
screws up,
Mhm.
because they said they were gonna do that, right? No,
Mhm.
no more breaks. Um, what else could you add to that before I continue, Blunt? Because I don't want to keep on going.
I mean, I kind of feel like I don't know with him. I feel like it's a double edged sword with him because I like to back him on a lot of things that he's doing, and I understand that his motivation is to do better for the members, right? And this whole motivation is to make the membership better. But again, I've said this before that um some of the things I just can't co-sign. Some of the ways that he goes about it, I just can't co-sign. And this is just one of them. When he posted that and he said those things, it reminded me
Dude, I'm just,
of
I'm just,
when
I'm listening. I'm just taking a moment to share because we didn't share anything out.
uh, it reminded me of when they did the same thing. You saw how it turned
Yeah,
Caribbean on you?
same thing.
They did the same thing uh to the MTA employees when they were taking pictures of MTA employees sleeping on the train with their vest on and stuff like that, and employees got a lot of heat for that. And not only did they get a lot of heat, but they were offended by it also. And it was like, well, you don't know what's happening with that employee. He could be on break, could be going to relieve somebody or something like that. He could be just taking a nap. And I feel that's kind of the same situation. But you don't know what the NYPD if they on break or you don't know their situation. And I'm hoping that he did his due diligence before he posted it out there. Now I can't say if he did or he didn't, but you got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not going to be just sleeping on the clock like that.
Hmm.
You know, if they like, my friend was just telling me I was on the phone with one of my NYPD friends, and he was like, they get I can't remember. I think he said something like 2 20-minute breaks during their shift where they could do wherever and go wherever and do what they want. And so I'm assuming that those people are on their break. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather they take the nap on a little 20-minute break and be fresh to finish their shift than to be on a shift groggy and make a fatal mistake because they're tired. Like
Exactly.
you
Hmm.
know that they work long shifts just like everybody else, and if they could get a couple of Z's in, then yeah, I'm all for it, man. Give them a fucking pillow. You know, tell them I'll wake you up in 20 minutes. I got you. And then let them go about their business. But I think that was when you have a platform as big as he has, you have to, you know, it's a responsibility that comes with that. You reach a lot of people and you influence a lot of people. So you got to make sure that what you're putting out there is the right information. And we just don't know what they're doing in there, right? And he wiped any kind of question that you could have of what by saying they he made it seem like they on duty sleeping basically, and that's not. We don't know that that's what it is, and so and not only that, now because of his actions of the actions of one man, 40,000 plus employees are feeling the raft behind it. You know, so it's a little bit irresponsible. I mean, I hey, it is what it is, man. You know, I,
Yeah.
so
From what I've heard,
what
well,
up, what up, John?
and then the thing is this. Um, the whole thing was about that he wants to make sure that that we have police officers because I guess for the video is showing that why are they there if they should be working, but like you mentioned, they could have been on a break, they could have been sleeping. um I mean, with us transit, when we're on our swing, we're not allowed to sleep either. Am I
Right,
right? We're not
right.
allowed to sleep. You have like a 4 hour swing,
What up, Lloyd?
and if you're not doing anything, you want to go take a nap. You don't find anybody coming through take pictures of us while we're plus that was I would think they feel safe because that's the
Mm-hmm.
break room. It's away from
Mm-hmm.
the public.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you could trust these guys for transit
Mm-hmm.
as you take a nap or whatever,
Right.
and
You
then
got.
somebody comes through and takes pictures and starts posting on social media. That was wrong. That was wrong on his part. I believe that should have, like some other people said, that's something that should have been taken care of internally.
Internalized, right?
Yeah, go to the BP, whoever is in charge, the
Mm-hmm.
commissioner, whoever, and maybe had shown pictures to him or to them, and be like, "What are we going to do about this? We need this safety on our trains,
Mm-hmm.
and look what we have here. These guys are sleeping."
Why are these
Um,
guys sleeping here, and what?
yeah,
Why are we? Is this the reason why we don't have enough officers, or get to the bottom of it, but don't just put it out there like that.
right. I heard that one of them was actually a lieutenant, and the lieutenant was actually reprimanded as well.
Look at
One of
that.
those people in the picture.
So sorry, sorry, transit.
Yeah.
Park your vehicles where it's supposed to be, because you're gonna be paying now.
So
Sorry.
so then continued yesterday. I get a text, a friend of mine telling me, "Hey, do you listen to mention a radio show?" I go, "Yeah, whenever I can. I tune in when I'm at work, but at that time I don't really, I can't drive it." So this person recorded because they told me that the VP was going to be on that show. So I listened to it, and he went to the show basically to talk about what the incident that just happened with the conductor, the female conductor that was attacked by
Assaulted.
some random guy. Did you see that video?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so she's recording it because she's telling the officer that this person assaulted
Yeah.
her,
Right.
and they just let him go.
Right. Because he said
So
he knew her.
right. And she
Right.
was like, "That you're wrong. Like, how could you let him go? I tell you, he
Mm-hmm.
assaulted me. He doesn't know
Mm-hmm.
me. Ask him what my name is." So he went to that show strictly to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it started out pretty good. The host was talking about how we need the safety
Mm-hmm.
for transit workers. They included bus operators.
Mm-hmm.
But then he went ahead and spoke about the video that he had posted, which
Mm-hmm.
the host also said that they had seen the video, and they thought that was wrong, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for them to be doing that if they're supposed to be working.
Right.
And about the parking, the host said, "So wait, are you guys supposed to be parking there illegally?" And he was like, "Well, there's really no place to park." I said, "So you parking there illegally?" He said, "So fuck y'all. Whatever. You gotta get a ticket. You got a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys getting away with parking illegally, right?" So in the station, he's like, "Well, they park illegally too." And like, so the way I see it with that, like, we MTA has to deal with NYPD, right?
Mm-hmm.
As also the crossing guards. Crossing guards could get on our buses as long as they're in uniform during
Mm-hmm.
school days, right? Um,
And
but
not pay.
and not pay. But there is the same with the cops. The cops get a card too, but you see a cop coming on your bus,
You let them on.
you ain't gonna tell. They have their own passes too, but
Mm-hmm.
they're a cop. They probably
Right.
use the pass when they're not in uniform, and not all cops wear the uniform to work. Just like not all bus operator, transit workers wear the uniform to work. Some of
Right.
them just feel like they don't want the public to know,
You're
you
a
know,
target.
who they are exactly. So you let them on, but there is no rule that says that transit workers got to get a courtesy from the cops.
And
There
there's
is
no
none.
rule vice versa either.
With what? Well, there is with the cops being able to come in our buses
Yeah,
and
but
ride.
in
But
their
transit
uniforms.
workers can feel that that, well, we're doing this for them, they should be doing this for us, because they don't really have to. But it's like an unwritten rule that they
Mm-hmm.
they, they give us this courtesy,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know if we're gonna keep getting it.
Not for now. I mean,
Not
you heard.
probably not for
Did you
now.
hear what my friend said on the phone? Right? He's like, he's gonna.
No, I'm
He's gonna.
sorry. I was blocking it out
Yeah.
because it was not with me.
He was saying that he heard about it. He's actually retired. I'm not gonna say his name because he's in some shit about it. But he was like, he heard about the situation. I'm talking about my friend he was a NYPD, and he said he's retired, but he heard about the situation. He said, listen, to be honest, it's gonna be happening for a while. He said they're gonna retaliate just like anybody else would when you come after them. He said so you're gonna be feeling it for a while, and that at some point they're gonna cut back, but it's probably gonna take them to uh, the union heads to coordinate with each other about it, because he said right now, nope, because of what happened, that's it. All courtesies are gonna be stopped, and that's gonna be system wide.
Right. And I just have to say our title, which where it says NYPD against MTA. I put MTA, but it's basically MTA members, like the membership, the local,
Right,
not actually
right,
MTA, because
right.
MTA is probably laughing at this. To tell the
Oh
truth,
yeah,
the fact that
yeah.
that we were fighting to get
We
cops
shot
on the
we
system,
shot
and then we
ourselves in the
do,
foot.
yeah, and then we do this.
And
So
mind you, it's one person, but we all take the shot.
yeah,
One person put it out there. Now we all gotta
yeah.
suffer.
And to someone that's not even working for transit anymore, can you believe that shit?
What do you mean?
Because he's not, the VP is not longer with transit.
No.
No, let him go. He's the VP, but he's not. He's no longer a transit worker. I don't know if he'll get the job back, but
Um.
what? Did
Yeah, I
you hear
think
something
that's
different?
no. Yeah, I don't think that's entirely right, but I'm not. I can't really speak on it. But I don't think that he's not. I think there's a technicality that he's still, because he still could have been elected as long as the case wasn't finished yet.
Okay,
So
okay.
so it
I stand
technically
corrected.
still he's still with transit.
Okay,
Mm.
but again, that's something that should not have been publicized like that. Yes, you brought light to it, but there was no reason for that to come out like that, because now
Yeah,
we
I
screwed
mean,
us all. What's the
you
the
call a
comment?
spade a spade. It gets real hot in the summer and real cold in the winter. Good luck standing on them corners. You call a spade a spade. That what he did was fucked up. It was
And we
fucked
can't
up.
be upset at the NYPD.
Right. I get that his intentions again. I get that his intentions is about trying to protect the members and getting more cops and trying to see what's going on. That just wasn't it though. That was not it.
Yeah, look, NYPD is a huge club. Some people might say
Hmm.
gang, but it's a huge club.
And not only that, they are more in unison with each other than we are.
Yeah, something happens to one of them, everybody's there. Even cops from other. I mean, if it's something big, even cops from other states will come and stuff if something bad happened.
Yeah.
They've been around 120 years. May 23rd, 1845 is when the NYPD um, was established. Okay. The MTA, New York MTA, was May 31st, 1965. So my month,
Mm,
my year.
mm,
Yeah. So that's that's a big group of people that you don't want to fuck
you
with. And
don't.
like you said, with us, something happens, and if they don't know you, nobody pays mind.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're gonna stick together. I heard that they were calling um, police outside of New York to tell them
Hmm.
about this shit.
So can you
So who?
imagine if that sparks a countrywide event?
They see New
with
York
all
plates,
New York place or just transit workers. Period.
transit worker.
Oh man, that's
Yeah. So
listen. That's why when you have a platform again like as big as he has, you have to be a little bit more responsible. There's just certain things you shouldn't do.
yeah, I could see where he was going with it, but
Right?
not this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. No. No.
So what happened? So a few hours ago, he posted an apology.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Posted an apology, basically saying that um, he didn't mean it to be that way. He's just upset or
He's upset
frustrated.
and frustrated
But you
because.
know what?
Mhm.
He's a professional, right?
Right.
He's a
What up,
union
Damon?
officer. You can't. It's like, okay, so us operators, when we get flustered or upset about something, do we have the right to, snap back at the customers? We're not
Right.
supposed to, right? We have
Right.
to keep our demeanor and be professional about it. And if we have an issue, there's ways to go about it.
Right.
He
But
got frustrated.
let me finish with that because he said he's upset and frustrated and just left it at that.
Mhm.
And he also was like, he's been trying. They've been trying many ways. He took it back to the last presidents and to the current president and how they were talking about they needed more help. They needed more help. So he kind of felt like his hand was forced to do it this way to make a big stink about something so that now that the conversation can go. Again, I understand where he's coming from, but just wasn't the way to do it. And I don't have the answer to it. So I mean, I can't say you should have did it this way. I just know that this wasn't the right way. You know what I mean?
You
Let's
got
see.
MD Mason.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to put it up.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we go. There you go.
NYPD officers get 1 hour break. Takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour from certain locations to go back and forth to the precinct station. If you have them at the station and there is an emergency, then you can respond. But now you don't have any more for almost 2 hours. Right. Yeah, like my friend in NYPD said he said they get what he said 2 45-minute breaks or something like that. They get 2 45-minute breaks, and they could use that and go wherever they want and do whatever they want. So a lot of them use it to take a nap.
Same like with us when many of us like to keep our buses on our swing
Hmm.
because we keep our bus, it extends our swing,
Right,
and we're right on time when we need to start our route
right,
once more.
right. If you break it down, the math of it, right, when you have to pull in your swing, you have the time it takes for you once you're done with the last stop. You have the time it takes for you to drive to the depot, pull into the depot, get out of your bus, walk up them steps. And these depots are not little depots. These are huge depots where you got to walk. The walk is like 5-10 minutes. And that's like the short version, right? Then you go use the bathroom, wash your hands, heat your food up, eat your food, wash your hands again, walk back down, wait to get another bus, then pull out another. But you have all that time that you cut out when you keep the bus. So you get to eating and stuff right in the time and still be right at the location you need to be at to pull off. So it benefits you to keep the bus. But let's say you keep the bus and you like what I used to do when I was working overnights doing the uh what they call them? The Hawks,
The
right?
Hawks.
I was like number 2 on the 68. And if I had to pull my bus in, I would get a 20-minute swing versus me keeping the bus and having a 45-minute swing. Right? So I would keep my bus, have my 45 minutes, go find a little dark hole with my bus. I had curtains. Yes, I had curtains. Put my curtains up. Put my feet up on the dash on the steering wheel. Throw the seat as far back as I can. Take a nap. Now imagine somebody coming and say, "What are you doing? Look what MTA. This is what MTA paying him to do."
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
knowing
yeah,
that I'm on my break, you
yeah,
know, and I
yeah,
need my rest because it's 3 in the fucking morning. you know, you know.
yeah. They're like, this is why our buses are late because
Yeah,
look at this.
this is why
This is the drivers be doing.
and they want to charge 275, whatever it was at the time,
Hmm.
you know. So it's just wasn't the right thing. It wasn't. Listen, we make mistakes, right? But this is going to be a hard one for him to come back from. Yeah.
Not just for him, but for the
For everybody.
transit operators, our local guys. And I wonder if anybody said anything to him.
Mm.
Any of the top TW local brass, did they say like, who, why would you do this? Or in his apology, he showed a letter from Dan Utano, and this was 2021, where he's
Mm.
speaking um,
Mm.
to somebody up on the NYPD about how he's been told that there's no cops on the platform, that they're only around the where you pay, that they don't go to the trains. But you see, he was the president,
Mm.
and he was doing it written to higher up the way he's supposed to do it.
Mm.
He didn't go around taking pictures or something. But anyway,
Mm.
in his apology, there's something that he said that got me going a little, like, why? I don't know if he meant to say it, but he said that these pictures that he posted, these pictures, he's done it many other times. He's posted those
Mm.
same pictures
Oh, he's
from
posted those pictures before.
3 to 4 years ago.
Mm.
So get this now. So he goes online to show these pictures. He goes on the radio station to talk about the pictures, but he has all these people that are watching the video believing that this happened now.
Mm.
Because I did. I was one of the ones that was like, "Oh shit, look what the cops are doing." This is from like 4 years ago.
Mm.
So to me, it feels like that's like a false reporting, because why didn't he, if this is from 4 years ago and these cops have been already reprimanded back then, why bring that back out? So his thing is that because now he's more popular, more people listen to him or watch him, but he should have said something about the pictures.
I should have said that these are old pictures.
I think so,
Okay.
because everybody, I mean, in the first video he posted on the radio station, he talked about in one of his platforms, it was seeing like 400,000 views.
Mm.
That's 400,000 people that are
Mm.
pissed off now, the NYPD, because they believe this pictures just happened now.
Mm.
And with everything going on now, where we have transit workers getting assaulted, um, train operators getting assaulted, punched, and all that stuff. They've seen videos where they come in, they break the door, and they punch the conductor.
Mm.
So you see this, you're like, this is what's going on now?
Mm.
With everything that's going on, these cops are just sleeping instead of being out there watching us. So it didn't seem right to me.
Mm.
You post something from back in the day, making people believe that it's happening now.
You got to make that known.
He should have. I think
Mm.
that was the right there, the big problem of the whole thing. This is
Mm.
something that happened years ago. The officers were already reprimanded. They were talked about
Right.
it.
Exactly.
And if you're gonna bring pictures, you have anything from now?
So, so you have so, John. Do you think there's motivation behind what he's doing? Some kind of plan behind just putting the pictures out and not doing the correct thing, like P said, and letting people know that.
He said it himself. If you guys go look at his video, unless he took it down now, his video with the apology, he says there, "Oh, I put these many times before, videos in the past, and these pictures are from 3 4 years ago."
Mm-hmm.
So that right there was like the nail in the coffin for me. It was like, we're over here all upset that he's putting pictures of a cop sleeping, and yet this is from freaking 4 years ago.
So you sense some motivation behind this, not necessarily uh, trying to just be like a journalist and just putting truth out there. You're trying to spin a narrative and get something going.
Because of what's going on right now,
Hmm.
because of the issues
Good
that
talk.
transit workers are having now.
So let
So
me
to me,
ask you
it's like
though.
he used those old pictures to fuel this flame about transit workers
Mhm.
being assaulted now, because this is happening now. There's videos all over the place. Transit transit workers are getting
Transit
assaulted
workers
now.
been getting assaulted since day one.
Yeah, but now
You know,
with
now it's getting
the
more
internet
coverage.
and all that,
Yeah,
everybody
now it's
has
getting more
phones.
coverage. But yeah, I mean, so do you think his plan's working?
Well, it's definitely bringing it to light, but again, it's the way he did it.
Right.
And
I
again,
guess
I'm
I
still
guess my
bothered by the
question
fact that these are old pictures. This is not something that just happened.
yeah, I guess my question is, and this is for especially the people that's watching. Do you think the ends justify the means by what he did?
Answer in the
Oh,
comments.
right. Do you think the ends justify the means? Even though MTA employees are now feeling the heat from what he did, but as you can see, when we said we was going to talk about this Monday, everybody was like, "No, you got to talk about this shit now." So, I mean, does the ends justify the means? I guess we really won't know until we see what
Well,
happens
our
about
friend
this.
Lloyd says no. I don't
Nope.
believe it's working. It's going to be a lot of backlash.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, the
believe
backlash
that.
already started today.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think with the backlash going on and everything, that's really fucked up. But I think we have to give it some time to really see if it does justify the means because we talking about it. Jason Figueroa says, "Hell to the no." They created a problem, and you know what? You guys are justified in feeling that way. You absolutely are.
Because now we got to be careful out there. If there's if a cop sees you taking a red light and he
Making
feels like he's gonna pull you over, he's gonna
a
do
U
it.
turn, a U
If he
turn that you
sees
ain't
you
supposed to be
making a
making.
turn while people are
Mm-hmm.
crossing, vision
Mm-hmm.
zero, they were
Yep.
supposed to wait till they get off the crosswalk. And
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it a lot. A lot of operators be, people are crossing, they're like following them as they make the turn. And if there happens to be a cop there, and he's one of these that are feeling some kind of way because of what was posted, he's gonna take it out on whoever bus operator is at that moment. What happened with Vision Zero, and it's gonna go back and forth. They'll have the operator getting arrested, and what we see here, as far as I know, NYPD.
Transit cop. Post it up.
Well, I was trying to.
Okay. Yeah. Finish reading, man.
I'm
Come
going. I just got to scroll back up. As far as I know, NYPD transit cops feels that transit employees are like their brothers and sisters. But this video made NYPD officers not welcome to take few minutes rest after standing more than 8 hours. Officers can't sit in public
public
view,
view.
so where can they sit now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's where they were. They were at the break rooms where they're away from the public, and they're entrusting that these transit workers are not going to do something like that.
Right. So now it's going to be a big
When have you ever seen a
campaign.
cop take picture of another cop or on Facebook ratting their own? They don't do any of that shit, you know. And we shouldn't have been doing that to them. Period. Whoever was there taking those pictures, that sent them to the VP. VP should again take it to higher up or take it to our president.
Take it
Listen,
to
look,
our president and let them handle that
let the handle
internally
it.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing something because you want to feel like you're doing something for the membership, and I get that, but yeah, you're getting a lot of people talking. That's for sure.
I
A
mean, that's
lot
what
of
I'm.
people talking.
That's where I'm coming at. Like, does the end justify the means? Because now you got a lot of people talking about this shit, and I
Uh,
know that's one of his goals is to get the conversation going.
yeah,
But at what expense, though? To what expense is it? Is this worth it? And a lot of people are going to be like, "Hell to the no! This
yeah.
wasn't it."
Now, what if and now if we see an
Uptick.
upwards uptick on the attacks on transit workers,
Hmm.
and cops are
Right.
nowhere to be found.
No, not just that. Because a lot of cops I know they grimy, right? So they might be like, "Oh, look, that bus operator getting punched in the face. Hey, let's go over to Dunkin' Donuts real quick." You know what I mean? They're not going to help you, right?
Mm.
And they come back with the coffee and like, "Oh, wow, you got assaulted? Oh, okay. Hey,
Sorry to hear that.
right?" And start going about their conversation.
I mean, it could go that way. There's also good cops, but
I
I
mean,
see
yeah.
it going the way you're saying.
I mean,
You
most of the
know,
cops that I dealt with were like exactly what I just talked
I
about.
had one get
But
on my bus today, and I
yeah,
was like, "Oh shit!" But he got on. He showed his badge. He
you
said,
got
"Good
scared.
afternoon." I said, "Good afternoon," and he kept walking,
Look,
and I'm like,
now now you got half a transit with anxiety.
"Yeah," because
That's
it's like,
crazy.
shit. What if I take this light accidental? He's like, Pull over."
Right? What if now?
It's a
You
lot
do a
of what
small,
ifs.
yeah, I know. You do a small infraction, and the cops on your bus. Hey, pull your bus over. Now you're in fucking trouble. Yeah,
Or in
this
your
could
own
go really.
vehicle.
This could go real bad.
In your own vehicle, and they see you have your
Mm.
vest there, or you have your uniform, whatever. I'll be like, stay right here, be right back. And they
Yeah,
just sit there,
and
sit
make
in
you
their in
wait
their
late
car
for work.
chilling.
Yeah. I mean, I've had that done to me. Let me hold on before we get to that. John Romero says, "Guess what? NYPD can now turn around and kick the few to include other police agencies, Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester, and now you can get guys all around fucked for the actions of one overzealous person."
They're gonna
Yep.
teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
And, and,
Yeah.
and I can't blame. I really can't blame them.
Okay.
I really can't blame them, especially when you go freaking post in a picture that's more than 4 years old and make the whole public think that just happened. That
Yeah.
that right there, like, really irks me. That whole thing, when I heard that he said that, it's like, wait a minute. Then why?
Why post it now?
Why post it
Again,
now? Because it
why
was gonna bring.
repost it?
Because he said, because now that he's more popular and that he
Right.
has more political
Connections.
connections
Hmm.
and all that, that
More
people.
people talk about it.
Well, at least let people know. Listen, look, this is what's been happening on 4 years ago. Look at these
That's
pictures
it.
from 4 years ago. Cops are doing this. They're probably still doing it. What are we gonna do about it to get them, on the trains? But no, he just left it like that for everybody that watched it to think this is happening right now.
Mm.
I just I that I
I
can't
mean,
with
again,
that.
we got to make it clear he did apologize for putting it out
Mm.
that way. Um, I don't know how many people are going to actually accept it. I don't think he cares if people accept it or not. But I just don't think people don't care about the apology. I feel like he should. They feel like he
Some
should.
actually do. If you look at the comments on the video,
No,
some, like usual, there's gonna be his little social group that's gonna find a way to justify what he did and how he did it,
let me
and
put
it's
that.
just gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be the two sides. It's gonna be the two sides.
Mhm.
Let's just hope that this thing with the cops have against us will stop. Let's just hope, just hope that they don't say,
Well,
"Listen,
it's
this
going
is
to be a
that."
little time before that happens.
Mm. Yeah, there's always gonna be some of them that are gonna be like, "Fuck them,
Hmm.
fuck
Hmm.
them."
So again, guys, put it in the comments if you think that what was transpired, if the ends justify the means, by virtue of us having this impromptu broadcast. You could say, yeah, you could say, yeah. Well, I know a lot of people don't want to feel the heat, so they're gonna be like, "Fuck no." What's this? What should be happening is this one guy should be getting that 5-star wanted level blame. Him and only him. Leave the rest of us alone. Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not going to work like that.
It's like a classroom. One
Yep.
one clown in the class, and everybody gets attention.
You know, when you're in the army, right? And one person fuck up, the whole platoon has to go through it, right? Y'all saw a platoon, right?
I've seen a lot of movies, and
In platoon what's his name? Palmer, Sergeant Palmer, no, Private Palmer, or whatever his name, Sergeant
Private
Powell,
Palmer. Was it
the
Platoon?
fat guy who kept fucking up.
Yeah, that was not Platoon. That was
Was it
another
platoon?
movie.
Oh no, that was Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal
Full
Jacket.
Metal Jacket, right?
Yeah,
And actually, he's playing Fisk right now in Daredevil. But yeah,
yeah.
and he kept messing up. The whole platoon got so tired of getting in trouble that they start beating him with socks. They
Yeah,
tied
they
them to
had
the bed.
something inside with the soap bars.
But they had soap bars inside their socks. Yeah, they beat the crap out of him, and that
That's
made
crazy.
him flip his wig.
In a bad way.
Now listen. Let me back up.
Mm.
I'm not saying
You don't
that
want it to
transit
end that way.
workers go find him, tie him up, and beat him up with soaps and socks. No, do not
The
touch
words
him.
and opinions over here of your boy Blunt.
Do not go after that man. No violence, please. No
No,
violence.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, I think he learned a lesson from this, and he probably so hard headed that he's like, said what I said, did what I did, and if it works out, he's probably gonna want to take the credit for it. If we see more cops, but again, you and I agree. Again, this is our opinion, folks. This is how we feel. I'm a bus operator. My opinion, it should have been dealt differently.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing. I think he shouldn't have done that. Not that. Not that. He talk about it or whatever, keep bringing it up, but that right there was no, not the way to go about it.
For sure. So, and for all of you that are having issues with this, right? That are gonna be out there driving and thinking, and with your mental health, which
Oh
is
yeah.
very important.
Oh,
This might bother some operators. This
mm-hmm,
might actually get some people feeling a little nervous about
mm-hmm,
doing the job, or feeling a certain way
mm-hmm,
being around cops. So there's somebody to talk to. The Union
mm-hmm.
Assistance Program. Give them a call. 212-736-3579. What's that number, Blunt?
It's 212-736-3579.
Call them now. It's
Tell
anonymous.
them,
It's an
yeah.
anonymous call.
It's an anonymous call, so you don't have to worry about it. They ain't gonna call your boss and tell them that you're freaking out. So just give
Send
them a
this guy
call.
in a random.
Let them know you stress and let them know why. You know?
Hey man, the cops pull you over. Be like, you're driving a little reckless. I think we should take you off the bus.
Yeah.
You have to call it in. They have to send you in a random.
Imagine they start doing that.
Your eyes look a little red.
Yeah.
Are you been smoking? Oh, they
I
come on the
smell
bus
weed.
and it
I
smells like
smell weed.
weed.
I smell weed.
Yeah, I think the
You,
operator was smoking.
you.
Oh God. Yo, let's shut up. Let's shut
Now
up.
you got
Let
to
me
go
start
down for.
putting
I
ideas out
know, right?
there. If
Now-
anybody, any NYPDs out there watching, listen, we love you guys. It's just
oh yeah, we definitely, yeah. We
don't
want
don't
you on our side.
don't come after us, but
Mm-mm.
we do want you to be
Yes, sir.
there for us. You know, in whatever
John
capacity you
says
can.
my friend Mike from the academy told me that shit lasted 2 weeks.
What lasted 2 weeks?
You know, some I guess who's closed? Oh, the UAP, they closed right now? All right, so wait till the morning.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to hold that stress for a
Mm,
few hours. Go take a nap.
yeah.
Just don't be in a break room. Or wait till you get home.
You gotta hide that hand from when you report, because
Yeah, hide the
you're gonna be like,
uniform too. Don't be in uniform. Listen, just chill in the car in your underwear. Take a nap that way. Don't
then they're
let them
gonna have
see
you
you.
from indecent exposure, Pete.
Nah, you're in
Damn.
your underwear. That's shorts. Be in your shorts. No uniform shirt. Get rid of
No,
that. Get rid of that. Freaking vest. Hide that vest.
look at this.
Yo, be careful leaving those vests in your car because they just might
Mhm.
find anything. Just give you a
Yeah,
ticket.
and they're gonna give you a full search and make sure
Oh
everything's
God.
correct in your car.
Have you been drinking anything, sir? Do you mind if we bring our dog? Yo, it's funny, but it would be crazy if
Wait, how
somebody
was this?
if somebody one of these cops just wakes up on the wrong side of the bed one morning and be like, I'm gonna fuck around with these bus drivers today. These
I wonder
transit
how is
workers
this
today.
possible? Because when it says NYPD arrested a bus operator off duty full uniform yesterday after being pulled over and finding out he had suspended license. But wouldn't the depot catch on to that?
Well, remember that they catch on to that when they bring you in,
No,
when they
because
print.
they called me one time and they told me my license was suspended. They pulled me off the bus. Now that my
Hmm.
license expired, they pulled me. They said, "Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing, pull over, empty your bus, secure your bus, and grab a bus back to the depot." And I'm like, "What happened?" He said, "Just do that." And I did that. I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck happened." When I got to the window, they was like, "Your license expired." I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And yeah, my license was expired. I had to go back. I had to go to the DMV and renew it. Luckily, you got that grace period. You
Hmm.
don't have to go through all the application and shit. I had to go and renew it that day. But I had to wait 3 days off the bus to get the
Unless there's
new.
a certain amount of hours that it took for it to get to TA. when it
Yeah.
got suspended, and he probably just got caught before TA
Well,
got
TA got a chance to tell him.
a
Yeah.
chance to hear about it.
But
I
now they're
don't
not
know,
going
but
to cut him a break. So
that's
that
crazy.
could have been an issue where they say, "Hey, listen, handle your business," but I don't think they're going to let you drive with a suspended license. But they could have been like, just park your car, and go about your business and take care of that. Especially if you're in uniform,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean,
Yep.
they 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 threw me on the hood right in front of the depot.
Really?
Yeah, I was coming to work, and just before I could pull in the 36th Street entrance, where the where you pull out at,
The gate, yeah.
they lit me up, and I couldn't even talk to them. They was like, "Get out the car." I'm like, "The fuck,
But
get out the car."
why was that? They sold your plate? What was it?
They was looking for somebody, and I guess I fit the description.
Uh,
But when they slammed me on the hood, and they started to search me, and they opened up my jacket, they saw I was in uniform. And I was like, man, I was trying to go to fucking work. And, and they was like, oh, we apologize, but you fit the description. We're looking for something. I'm like, yeah, but you could have just asked me.
mhm.
They slammed me on the hood. And even the other security, I forgot who was the security. He was like, God damn, B. I was like, yo, I'm about to be late. I can't talk. I got to
What did you
fly.
do?
Yeah. The shit was crazy.
Wow.
What's
Well,
this?
don't fuck with NYPD.
School room system is connected to Albany, the bus unit. If it happens, they alert right right away. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how that story happened. Done.
Oh, he had a New Jersey. Oh, okay. He was in New Jersey
Maybe
operating.
Jersey's a little different. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe they're a little slower. I don't think Jersey would be faster than New
Well, their
York.
drivers are. So yeah. So
I got a comment here, but it's not in. I don't know why, Zaneta, are you posting on my Facebook, and you could be posting here. Some of them are nice and they work with you, but in reality, they can get all the tickets for parking illegally. They don't have permits. I was trying to ride, and they didn't let me. Yeah.
somebody said they need to send her to a random. She's posting in the wrong place.
Yes, and then what
Z,
you doing?
weren't you on vacation? Z, are you supposed to be on vacation?
Are you posting on my Facebook um messenger instead of on the chat? Huh, Z? You ain't new. You old school. Let's see. Beat you up, Z. Yes.
Well,
So
so we
again, guys,
appreciate everybody that came out. But listen, guys, please share this if you're watching it. If you're watching it now, just share it. Again, we usually come on Mondays. I did post it to several groups, but I don't know how that works. If people in the group get a notification or not. But share this out, and of course, comment. Let us know how you feel about this information we gave you. The question that Blunt asked before. Feel free to respond. What was it? The means.
does the end justify the means?
Yeah. Respond to how you feel about it.
Yeah. Put it in the comments. We'll be checking the comments throughout the week.
And please make sure you check us out on YouTube,
Yeah, we get.
because every live show that we do on Facebook within 30 days gets deleted. That's how Facebook does now.
Mhm.
But all our shows you could find on our YouTube channel. And we hope that you guys subscribe to that channel, Two Transmissions on YouTube. But you could do the same thing as on Facebook. You could comment everything else there too.
Mhm.
And any shows you miss, feel free to go there and catch them and catch up. Binge watch this weekend. Binge watch the Transcend Misfits.
Yeah.
Huh? Um, I guess we don't have enough time to speak on what you wanted to speak.
At least New Jersey. At least in New Jersey, we have NJ Transit Police dedication. See, that's the problem. That's a big problem that I had because we used to have
You had it.
transit. Um, what we used to have
Transit
transit police.
police. They
Yeah,
got defunded, I guess, if
brain
you could
fuck.
say.
No, what they did was they got how you say grandfathered, or they got merged with NYPD. So now they just fully NYPD. But that took away, the fact that, that they're transit police.
Yeah, they had an office in our depot, the Gleason Depot. You
Yeah,
see them
and
all the time going in and
they
out.
had a office in J Street Station. You know, I've been in there a couple of times. Not for anything wrong. I just knew some people in there, so I used to go to that office a couple of times. And and they were dedicated to transit. So they would ride the buses, they would ride the trains. They knew where all the hot spots were, you know, and they took them away. So now they took away all that transit stuff and just made it regular NYPD. So they don't have the obligation that they used to have, you
And
know.
we got to
So
also remember that they're short staff, I guess.
yeah,
The New York has how many? How many? 400 and something stations.
right. I just don't think it's right that they pulled them away and now we got to be begging for police officers when we had our own force. You
I mean,
know,
they could bring them back.
they could.
There's
But
no reason.
then they want to be praised for something like that, and that's like what's happening with our administration. They destroy something, then they fix it. Then they want to be patted on the back for fixing something that they
Mm-hmm.
destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should have never took them away. A lot of these problems you would be having. You know, what's wrong with them? It's like, what are you doing?
Saving money,
Stupid.
and doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, doing it the wrong way. They want to be praised when they finally fix the problem that they fucking created. Gotta be shitting me, man. But yeah,
NYPD. Let's hope we still get your courtesies. I mean, I don't have a vest on my dash, but I have it on the back of my seat. Just to keep it nice and prim because it's like new.
right. Yeah, you might
But
want to throw that in the trunk
I might, right? I just might have to
because
just
it
hide it.
seems like at least for the next 2 weeks, a vest is only going to be a target.
Yeah.
So let's park where you're supposed to park.
And
You know,
the public might target it too.
yeah,
The public might
yeah,
target it too because there's just public that are against us.
right. They've been against us, and this is just adding more fuel to the fire.
Well, especially those that
Going
are
after our cops.
hardcore for NYPD. Yeah.
Yeah, you going after our cops? Who the fuck you think you are, you piece of shit? You don't even need the education to have your fucking job, according to the
Ugh.
newspaper,
Yeah,
right?
you saw that.
Yeah, fucking idiots. What a fucking trip.
But
Uh,
anyway,
uh whoever is
that was the
the
post, right?
I think it was the post. I'm not sure, but whoever is the public um advocate for transit and the workers,
Mm.
they have some work to do. They have some serious work to do. They have some mending. They have some commercials. They have some op eds. They have uh interviews that they're gonna have to try to smooth this over because the only ones that's gonna get hurt in this situation are the transit workers, which they already have enough bullshit to deal with. More the reason why they should have enclosed barriers. I'm gonna say it every fucking week if I have to. Bus operators should have fully enclosed bulletproof barriers or better,
Completely.
completely. Not that 99 cent.
Oh, here's a picture I wanted to share. It's a picture
Yeah,
I wanted to share. Check this out. This was today.
right. Yeah, see,
A
there you
car with a
go.
vest, and there's
Yes,
the
sir.
ticket.
Yeah, say you missing something. Here you go. Yeah, now you got
Yeah,
a matching set.
yeah. You wanted the courtesy?
There
There
you
we
go.
go. We'll put it nicely under your wiper so it doesn't fly off and get damaged.
You know how that was like. Boop, 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 boop. You know?
That would be this right here. Where is it?
Yeah,
It is what it is.
yeah. It's a lot of some trouble. You're gonna be facing some hard times. John Romero says, be careful with that because there is a property protection instructor named Jesse Demino who told every TPPA that if he sees a vest in the window, he will break into the
What?
vehicle, take the vest, then ensure the employee gets 30 days for failure to secure.
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh, by the way, now that he said that, did you see? in Target and the 11 goes. What is that area called again? Damn, I used to be there all the time. Um, the Junction.
At the junction.
One of those outside places in the Junction selling uniform shirts, MTA uniform shirts. Did you
Oh
see that
yeah.
video?
Mm-mm.
They posted like a week or two ago. Somebody walked and said, "Look what they're selling," and they have our long sleeve shirts, MTA, are legit shirts in a rack for sale.
Mm.
How the
It
hell did
looks
they get those uniforms?
it looks exactly the same.
No, it's a uniform shirt. It's a
Oh,
uniform shirt, MTA uniform shirts. So either somebody gave them out somewhere, or someone threw them out and didn't cut out the logo.
or
Like
they
when
was
I have old
stolen.
shirts, I'm gonna throw them out. I rip the logo, I cut it all up, and
And
I
cut the
shred the
logo.
shirt.
You're supposed to cut off the logo,
Yeah,
but it
but
could
these
be also that the MTA truck was robbed and they just selling merchandise.
I know, but it was like 3 or 4 shirts with
Yeah.
all the other shirts that are selling right there, and they're like, "Look at this shit selling MTA." So they put that on, and if nobody checks for their ID, they walk into
Well,
anywhere, any
yeah.
MTA.
I remember I had a problem with
So I see what you were talking about the vests.
yeah.
They'll put the vest on.
And walk through. I used to have this lady used to get on my bus when we had the 65, so that's going back.
Mm.
And she would get on with her uniform and just walk through. And I'd be like, "Yo, you don't have to dip your pass, but at least you show me the pass, right?"
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
after a couple of times of her just walking through,
yeah.
and she's like, "Why I gotta show you my pass? You don't see my uniform?
Mhm.
Anybody could get a uniform. That could be your cousin's uniform. I don't fucking know. Let me see
Exactly.
your pass." She's like, "Oh, why you gotta be?" I said, "Listen, I let you go the first couple of times, but you ain't gonna be just disrespecting me and just walking past me like that. I don't care if you were. If you want to, you have to dip it. I can make you dip it every time you come in." "Oh, why you gotta be like that?" I said, "Because you being like the way you are." But enough about me.
Well, folks, I'm not sure if we'll do a show this Monday because this was supposed to be for Monday. I don't know, Blunt. We'll talk about it. Maybe Blunt will do
Mm,
something like you wanted to talk about a subject that was mentioned on the description for this show. We didn't have time to talk about it this week, but we'll bring it up on the next show.
mm.
Um, so we good?
We're
I
good.
think we're good.
Mm,
Folks, please protect your health, protect your sanity, and now protect your license.
yeah, and
Protect your
let's not
license,
park illegally. If it's somewhere you ain't supposed to be, don't put it. You
especially
don't have,
now.
at least for the next couple of weeks, you don't have the courtesy. So don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah, and if you do, don't get pissed off if you find a ticket on your dash.
Yeah. Just
Or if you find someone breaks into, like he said, somebody break into cars and take your vest, because we don't want that either.
yeah, hide your stuff, man. Don't right now vest and MTA logos are targets. So you want to hide it as much as you can.
Exactly.
When you at work, you do what you're supposed to do by displaying the way you're supposed to display. But once you off that bus or that train and you going home, cover everything up or take it off.
All right. And with that said, I'm Brooklyn Pete,
And I'm your boy Blunt.
and that's the end of our show.
Yeah, so fuck them. They can't take a joke.
See you next time, people.
Peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.